What's up, guys? Shit. I fucked it up. Welcome to another episode of Real Estate Podcast, episode 206. I'm here with Griffin.
Streak broken.
I'm here with Trav.
And I'm here with Streak Breaker Adam.
I was trying to do something and I fucking blanked. I was either gonna go with RST or P, and then I blanked on it, and
You got it out of sorts.
I got it out though.
Yeah, we're good. We recovered nicely.
No
I mean, every
restart,
now
no
and then,
redo.
the days without incident sign, we got to refresh it.
Yeah,
I had
we
to
gotta make
fix a
sure
lot of the
it's-
old ones, so.
Yeah, well, that's true.
But live, the streak has been lifted.
It'll be all right. We'll come in strong next. Let's just
Yeah.
fucking shut it down now.
Next-
Restart next week.
All right, guys, keep it real. No.
What we watch this week, guys?
800.
Foreign film, and it's not even
Yeah.
February. You know,
Yeah,
we saw this trailer like a week and a half ago. It
during
felt
Foreign
like.
Film February.
Yeah, and we were like, we gotta fucking watch this shit.
Mm-hmm.
And we watched a war film on Foreign Film February, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it was not a war film like this was.
No,
a war
it was
film.
not.
I mean, this shit. It's 2.5 hours of just pure war. Like,
Mhm.
you get a couple of little breather moments here and there, but they're few and far between.
You got
Take
to.
like all the most intense sequences of war films past, and they just crammed it into 2.5 hours.
Yeah. Yeah. So this is for the Battle of Shanghai, right? This is what we're watching. And they retreated to this warehouse that was like, it was a bank. It was a warehouse for banks, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the reason that they chose this warehouse is because of how fortified it was, you know, because money and, you know, things and such.
Banks.
Yeah. Yeah. Money and banks. And I mean, it does a really interesting job of how they chose to open the film, in my opinion, where it shows a couple of people that are like retreating because of what's going on. And then not only that, but you see a lot of things happen where you have people that are trying to get out, right? They're trying to escape. And then, I mean, the Chinese are like, you don't retreat.
Yeah.
Like this is not an option, dude. You're in it, and you're just gonna have to deal with it. Like, we'll shoot you in the back. I mean, there's how many scenes did you see where it's like you're free to leave, and as soon as they start
did that at
running
least
off,
4 times.
yeah,
Oh,
just,
yeah.
Especially at the end when he was like, "So we're all gonna die. If anybody wants to leave, they can." The one guy was like, the kid that was putting his gun down. I'm like, he can't shoot anyway. His arm's in a sling. Like,
yeah, right,
let him go.
Like
right.
like normally in Western films, you have the run or death scene early on in the film to be like, yeah, these motherfuckers ain't fucking around. No, this is like all throughout the movie. It'll be like some groups of people are lining the fuck up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those
You'll
young
see the
dudes
one
are
dude
trying to get away constantly.
Oh
Mhm.
man,
They
But
had
you'll
like,
see
he was
that.
like,
You'll see.
"Where you going, dude?" They held that one dude underwater. I was like, he's gonna drown.
Yeah,
And how do those guys not see those fucking bubbles coming up? Like,
yeah, right.
come on.
But that's so like they invade into the warehouse twice, right?
Yeah.
Like, not long after the characters that we're following first get there, the Japanese break into the
Yeah.
warehouse,
There's a
and
breach.
and then they break in a second time. The second time when they break in's when the gas is
Yeah, when they come through the water thing and
yeah,
the mustard gas.
that shit was crazy,
Mhm.
right? Like, fuck mustard gas, man. They were like taking rags out, pissing on them.
Yeah, when
And
he
they're like,
crawled over to that dude, he was like, "I can't pee. Please pee on mine."
yeah,
I'm like, "What?"
yeah,
Well, like you know how in a lot of our movies, in the States, one of the biggest things that that stands out from those old war movies from like World War One, World War Two, we're always kind of we see how like the angry, aggressive, the way Germany is depicted for us as Americans.
right,
This movie just it dawned on me just like how aggressive Japan used to be as a
Man.
nation.
Yeah. They did not give a fuck, dude.
And because we grew up, we've grown up with, I mean, fucking look at it. Japan is this little ass fucking island, and
Yeah.
China, mainland China, is fucking massive.
Yeah.
And Japan had their foot lodged to the fucking kneecap up China's ass this whole fucking movie, dude.
Mm.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, it was endearing to see the Chinese fucking hold off and, fight them back, and I get that. But like, man, like they were getting their shit pushed in hard.
Yeah. Well, and that's. Do you think that one of the reasons why is not only lack of preparation, but also the fact that the country is so large and everybody is more or less a little? Because think about the population difference between 1937 and today. So, of course, your main metropolitan areas are going to be heavily populated, but a lot of the country is not going to be populated.
Farmland, dude.
Yeah, it's not going to be populated hardly at all.
It's 37, so.
Yeah. So, it's just crazy to see how it was depicted and how like how close Japan got. Like they literally could have threw a grenade over that fucking river and killed how many innocent people?
Well,
right
when the airplanes came through, they shot people up during the flag scene, which was a crazy scene. Like I felt that, dude, when they were trying to hold that flag up. I was like,
yeah,
this is fucking something right here. And there's real footage of them doing that.
Yeah.
Online, you can watch it. When they were out there, like, dude's arms falling off, and he's trying to hold his flag up. Then when that one dude, it's falling, and that dude grabs it, and everybody's just watching him push it back up.
Yeah.
It's
and
like,
now
whoa.
for historical context here, while this shit was going on, America's been dealing with the Great fucking Depression.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like that's what's going on in America.
Yeah. And
or at least the end of it, because I think the Depression ended like right around the 40s, so it's starting to slack off here. But at this point, the Depression's fucking all over the world, which in hindsight makes me wonder, like just like, because it showed the civilians that were across the river.
Mm-hmm.
They were all still nice. Everything was still clean, and the silverware was polished and everything.
Yeah.
But it's during a time period where, by this point,
the
entire world's suffering economically.
When you look online, it says it ended around 33, but they said it really stuck around till like 39. Yeah. That's when it finally got back to normal and took that long to recover. You got the Brits up there watching in the Goodyear blimp.
Yeah.
Like calling shots and
they're placing bets on this shit. How that was one of the most fucked up. Like, never mind the fucking scene where you have people strapping grenades to their bodies and diving out of a window, knowing that there's people on the other side
screaming
of the river
their name on the way down.
Yes.
So people can remember them.
Yeah, and then you have people on the other side that aren't even from that country placing bets on whether Japan's going to invade or take it over that night or not. It's like, it's so fucked up, man.
Well, it showed you that like people weren't really giving a fuck about that.
That's
shit
the way I felt. Well, they were just collecting shit for the news. It was like, well, we got news for the world.
Look at how long it took for us, just the three of us, to come across this little piece of history.
Yeah, exactly.
I know him earlier, never heard of it.
Yeah, I mean, I know we're not natives of China or anything, but this is a pretty fucking significant throwdown that happened.
Yeah.
Well,
and it was probably just a little paragraph in our history book, which is why we don't fucking remember it. But,
when you look at what happened here and how aggressive Japan was,
and what was to come,
1945 makes sense.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I'm just saying we were over there watching them. We're like, you're going the right way for a smack bomb. I don't care who knows it.
Yeah.
I don't care who knows it.
Yeah. And then like the fact that they wanted them to stay there and to like and
like we
as
need
a
you to die
symbol,
here, kind of.
yes,
As you know,
yeah,
like you guys are gonna retreat back to us, but
yeah, but
some of you gotta
You're-
die.
You're mainly just holding the door,
yeah,
and no one cares about the door, man.
yeah. And that scene, I love that scene where the leader of the Japanese army,
Where they meet on the
and
horses.
dude, how fucking
That was pretty
crazy was
cool.
that?
Kind of
That
old
was a-
school, and they were like, you know, both of them were giving each other respect and being like, okay, like I'm here to fight you, you're here to fight me.
Yeah,
I'm probably not
Well,
gonna
like their
walk away from here
cultures are
today.
very, yeah, their cultures are very about keeping
Yeah.
up appearances.
Get out
to
there
a
and make your
degree,
parents
Would you
proud.
say?
yeah.
Yeah, like get out there and act like you got a pair.
Well, like if it would have been a completely different situation, those dudes could have been best friends. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like that's how much respect that they had for one another.
For
And the one
staying.
dude's like, yeah. The one dude's
Well,
like, I'm gonna be fired tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm gonna be replaced because I'm a
Yeah.
failure.
Yeah. So and the next guy, like, God knows what he's gonna do.
Yeah.
You know, like and it's and it's kind of that idea is crazy where it's like the next guy's gonna come in and who knows what he's gonna do. And it's like, dude, you're fucking bad enough.
Yeah.
Like, who the fuck could they bring in that could be worse? And it's like, well, I mean, I guess that reality does exist.
Just letting you know.
Yeah.
I mean, if
But,
the next guy fails, they'll kill him.
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
Can't have us looking weak in this war. But when you saw the battle, man, whenever the guy was like on this side of heaven and this side of hell,
Yeah.
and you could see how far. So that city had been bombed all the way back to right there on the water, and that was like the last hold point.
Yeah.
That was it. Like if they get through here, you know, it's like, well, they've pretty much taken over the rest of what city?
Yeah.
I saw some of the photos of that city when you look online, and there's one where there's a building that's blown up, and there's a baby sitting there crying.
Holy shit.
It's like covered in soot and shit.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's how brutal
Yeah.
it was. And then that
Yeah.
white horse, man, like when that white horse was running down the thing,
Yeah.
I
was
knew
waiting
that
for
white
Johnny
horse was going to
Cash.
come back. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
like a
For
million
real.
times, dude.
Yeah. But no, I mean, it's just the extent that they went through to like to protect this building, and like the idea that you're in this building, but you know the people on the other side of this river, they're not going to get injured,
Mm-mm.
but you're still here fighting. And if you can just make it to the other side,
You're
and like
safe.
hindsight, yeah, hindsight's always 20/20. So like going back and watching the movie again and realizing the reality of that situation, it's going to have a different impact whenever I watch it, because
Yeah.
it's like, no fucking wonder they were trying so hard to
Yeah, I
get
just
over
thought
there.
they wanted to go party.
Yeah.
I was
Well,
like,
I
they want
thought
to hang
that-
out with this chick that sings.
Yeah, well, and I knew that they wanted to get to that side for safety, but I didn't know that the rules of war was like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It was
Because
intense because I remember at the beginning of the movie when we have our crawl text
yeah,
and it's explaining that shit. I was like, is this gonna be like some fucking dudes plowing pastures and living the good life while like 2 blocks down, dudes getting a fucking bayonet in the chest? Pretty much.
yeah.
Like,
I mean,
I didn't realize it was that. Like the in terms of scope, it's the equivalent of like us being on one side of the street and on the other side of fucking turf wars breaking out.
yeah, yeah. And it's like both sides are. Well, one side is ignoring the fact that there's people that are like innocent,
Mhm.
women, children,
Yeah.
reporters over there, and they're just ignoring that. And that doesn't even like cross their mind or anything. And it's like, dude, if I was there, fuck the symbol. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not saying that I would retreat or anything, but if I was on the other side of that water where I wasn't fighting, I would be like, dude, I've got to fucking do something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So just standing here waving at them.
Yeah. And
Like
it
that
starts
one
to-
dude that had been watching all that time when those dudes were trying to cross the bridge.
Yeah.
He said,
He
fucking
finally- yeah.
Japanese. He went and grabbed his gun, which was a shotgun, by the way.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know, dude. You ain't going to do much damage from up here. But, you know, it's the thought that counts.
Yeah, right. But
That's
It's just
crazy
so-
how they were set up too. Like they were right there on that end of that street because when they were trying to, I'm over here like, why is there a Nazi flag? What are they doing? What is
Yeah.
it? They're trying to run a phone wire so they communicate with them.
Yeah.
They need a phone wire over there. And it's like, okay, so they don't fuck with people on the other side of the bridge.
But once you're on the bridge,
You're fucked.
yeah, you're
Until
free
you get
game.
to that bridge, you can be shot.
Yeah.
And it's crazy, like, you know, I don't know, man. We don't have that anymore. There's no fucking, when war happens,
Yeah.
there's just no rules like that. That just doesn't, you know, this is a war zone. That's it. You can't, they're not going to just, you know, they're like, well, we won't shoot you if you're over here. But
yeah,
if you're anywhere else, you're fair game.
Well, I mean, I'm certainly no war historian, but I feel like with the advent of just full-blown guerrilla warfare, like that changed the war more so than the technology.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
For
when the
sure.
guy, this dude had a good family, sister owned the casino.
Yeah.
I mean, he had a good family, money. And when he was sitting there watching them, he said, fuck it, I'm a fast runner.
Yeah.
Because they're all sitting there watching these dudes get slaughtered.
Yeah.
And it's like, man, this is fucked up. Like nobody's helping them. They're all stuck over there, and they're holding in their place. Yeah.
Headshot special effects left and right, man.
But when he ran over to that table and told that guy, he gave the symbol that he always did when he looked at his, I guess, his grandfather or dad's picture. He said, all right, motherfucker, it's my turn. He put his fucking fingerprint on the thing.
Yeah.
And got that goddamn line across there, dude. And it was like, hell yeah, dude.
Fucking national treasure right there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Remember me.
Outside of the cinematic and not cinematic, but outside of like the story and what's actually going on, the thing that shines the most in this movie is that camera work.
Oh yeah, man,
the cinematography
and the look.
So good.
The circle pans of buildings and areas and just these landscapes that we'll get and just shots for days, man.
See if y'all can tell. Do you remember the first time they go into the building? You have that scene where they're all coming up the road. And it's a trap. Like they go in and the door comes down and it was they ambushed them.
Yeah.
But on that scene, you could tell that the troops running in are CGI. After like the first set, I was like, oh, they looped them. You could tell they were on loop, you know. But it still didn't look bad. Like it was, you know.
No.
They just worked with what they had. But it looked good. I like the color. It had that like greenish yellow tint to it that you see in a lot, you know, war movies.
Well, and it kept the more the movie went on, the grainier that it got.
Yeah.
I noticed that. And not only that, but like whenever it would cut to the civilians, it was clear. It was dirty. Like it was I wouldn't say dirty, but it was dark and everything with the same tone. But it was cleaner and it was a little bit more defined. Everything was a little bit more colorful, and it's the water. Like once you cross that water, it's a completely different world. And they showed you that with the cinematography and with the color and the choice of wardrobe and everything. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's fucking nuts, man. And then you got people, those kids that are like breaking in.
Kids.
Those three students that went over there. And they're like, what the fuck are y'all doing here? And that dude watched his two friends get just fucking mowed down, man. Yeah.
What was fucked up was, remember the one guy, the kid that was like, I want this one under my wing. I'm going to train him. And he looked at him and he said, when I die, you'll take my place.
Yeah.
And it's like, fuck, dude, this kid's like a kid.
Yeah.
He's a kid. Like, the one kid's 13, but he's young too. Like, and what he saw him get shot and he was dying, it was just like, damn, man.
Yeah.
Fucked up.
Yeah.
Never had a life.
No.
Stopped right there, but.
They said, bring the mirrors over here. And they brought a fucking mirror. Like, they ripped it off the wall. And I'm like, that's fucking genius right there.
So they could look down and see.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're going to blow a hole in the damn side of this thing.
And I mean, these guys were shielded up. Almost like it's like they used just a classic fucking siege tactic.
Yeah, the Spartan siege, or whatever. Yeah,
they went 300 on them.
Yeah,
shit was some transcendent shit going on there.
And then, you know, a lot of scenes you got like all these people are walking up to people and being like, make sure this gets to my parents, or You know, here it is. This is my little piece of cloth with my name and shit on it. I'm fucking about to die. Okay.
Yeah.
Like when the first one that hops out that window, he went over there and said some shit to him, gave him something,
Yeah.
and just hopped out the fucking window. And it was like, whoa, shit. Like he was just like, this has got to stop, though. We can't let them through. That's the kind of soldiers you want, man.
Yeah.
Motherfuckers willing to die for their country right there.
Yeah. It's fucking crazy, man. Like, and it's interesting to see like these types of war films from a different perspective, especially something that was, you know, that you've never. It's kind of like the film that we watched for Foreign Film February. It's like we knew nothing about this going into it, and we got a little slice of history right there. And like, I mean, I can't imagine, because there's no way that they could have captured the full brutality of like what was going on there. But just the little snippet that we saw of what was going on there was enough to be like, this is fucking insane, man.
Yeah.
I mean, they were not fucking around.
No.
But
no, they weren't.
I really enjoyed it though.
Yeah, man.
Like, we haven't got a lot of. When was the last war film that we got? Was it Hacksaw Ridge?
No.
Well, I mean, we 1917.
We watched
1917.
We watched The Rifleman.
Yeah.
Yeah, I meant like American.
Yeah, 1917 was the. And wait a minute, was that even an American?
No, that was.
So yeah, that was
The Rifleman was.
That was the foreign film
that
we
was
watched.
Swedish. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
he's talking about an American war movie.
Yeah, American war film.
I guess the last one that we had would have been Hacksaw Ridge. It came out.
It was 1917.
Not an American. They were British.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's what you're saying now. From America's perspective.
Oh, no, there's Fury.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, Fury was out.
Yeah, yeah. But it's been a while since we've got a war film. You know what I mean?
I tell you, man, I was glad to get this one. Like,
I'm enjoying this little trip around the world at all the theaters of war that have happened.
Yeah.
It's refreshing.
I was glad to see this movie directed by like whoever did it, Asian guy. Can't remember his name. Saw it earlier. I'm glad this movie wasn't directed by like someone here. And they try to tell the story. It's like, no, you got to let them tell it, man. It's their story.
Yeah. Let's see. I'm gonna pull it up here. Hugh Guan.
Huge one. I mean,
Hugh Guan, and he directed. He's directed a pretty decent amount of shit. Mr. Six, The Chef, The Actor, The Scoundrel, Design of Death,
he is Chinese. He's from Beijing.
Yeah. So there was a little controversy around this film. I don't know if you knew that, Trav. Me and Adam talked about it a little bit the other night. When I found this, I actually was reading it to him. So the 800 controversial war film finally given China release date. So this was posted in Variety on August the 2nd of 2020. It said delayed by over a year for mysterious political reasons. Epic Chinese war film, The 800, has finally locked down a date for release in theaters. Let's see. It was selected to play in the prestigious opening slot of the Shanghai International Film Festival, China's only A-list festival, in June last year. But disaster struck when, with barely 24 hours to curtain up, the screening was canceled. The film's commercial release on July the 5th was called off shortly after. Despite having been approved by censors in the normal fashion and given clearance to play a state-backed festival, the film appeared to have fallen foul of other previously unknown political consideration. The incident revealed a new dimension to the censorship and approval system. A group of Communist Party scholars and experts calling themselves the China Red Culture Research Association were shown an advance copy of the movie and subsequently lobbied against it. Association members said the film misstepped in its portrayal of the rival Kuomintang Party, which ruled China until it lost the civil war against the communists in 1949 and fled to Taiwan. The two parties continued to dispute their respective roles in fighting the Japanese. The association's Secretary General Wang Benzhou criticized the film by saying the class oppression within the ranks of the Kuomintang army, the misdeeds of its officers, and its evil oppression of the people have disappeared without a trace, making it seem that the Kuomintang army was the real people's army. While there is no hard evidence that the association's opinions were the cause of the film's canceled premiere, the group's stance likely echoes that of the party's propaganda bureau, which since mid 2018 took over as China's top film censorship authority, dictating that what can be shown and when. Numerous other films have abrupt reversals of fortune last year as the Chinese film industry came to terms with its new master. Says it appears that portrayals of Communist Party history are more sensitive than more contemporary topics such as drugs and disaffection. Even things that seem relatively innocuous or even beneficial are going to get closer scrutiny with the attitude being if there are any chances at all that it could backfire, let's postpone it until a different time. Beijing-based historian Jeremiah Jean told Variety last year. Although China's political calendar is peppered with potential hotspots last year, was seen as especially sensitive as it was the 70th anniversary of communist rule in the country. This year contains other important dates, but the coronavirus outbreak, its economic devastation, and growing Cold War with the U.S. have changed the agenda.
So what that sounds like was that's a group of communist dudes got together and was like,
yeah,
we don't want to do this story.
Yeah.
We want to do one where we've already taken over.
Well, and think like this is the thing though, like as far as like political agenda and stuff, like it was there. You know what I'm saying? Like they had it in the film, but it wasn't solely focused around that. It was more around telling the story of the individuals that were in the warehouse trying to protect, and be a symbol to the country. And to me, even though I'm not in the mind of the writer, but the same guy that directed it wrote it, Hugh Guan, the way that he interpreted the story and he presented the story seemed to be a people's version of what happened. It's boots on the ground. This is what's going on. We need you guys to be a symbol here. Do it. Protect this warehouse. And that's what happened.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I forgot about that too. The whole time we're watching the movie, I'm over here siding with China. But this is pre-communist here. Like this is.
Yeah.
Old China.
Old China.
But yeah, it finally got released and it's available on Amazon Prime if anybody wants to watch it. That's where it's at.
Yeah.
It got its release. It actually did decent in the box office. It was over 400 million.
Yeah.
That it made. That was all over there, right? 472 million.
Yeah. So and it was only an $80 million budget, right? 80, 100 million, somewhere in there.
I'm trying to look at
that. Yeah, $80 million budget.
Yeah.
It made 118,000 in the U.S. It made a total of 372,000 in the U.S. and it made 461 million worldwide. So.
It was shot on IMAX format. First for a Chinese movie. It took 10 years to make with the reported budget of 80 million.
Took 10 years to make?
That's what they're saying. So that's probably like getting the funding, getting the writing, it was a project they've been working on for a long time.
Yeah.
So many sequences, dude. Like this.
Nah, it was. I really enjoyed the film, and it was brutal. It was crazy. It was, it was a war film, man.
Yeah.
It's a different perspective on something that has absolutely nothing to do with us, but if eventually it does, it's like a trickle down effect to a certain extent, right?
Yeah.
Because like you said, you see what these motherfuckers are about in 1937. So whenever 44, 45 rolls around, you're just like, well, no fucking wonder.
Mm-hmm.
So, But I enjoyed it. I recommend it to anybody. It was very long.
Was long.
And it did take a little bit of time to get started.
Yeah, but then that's the thing. Like once it got started, it just kept going. But then like it hit that one spot where it got slow again, where they were trying to get ready for the final battle. Dude, these motherfuckers are like, all right, we're probably all gonna die, so we're gonna take a bath. Go ahead and take a bath, because probably gonna die.
Yeah. Well, and how fucked up was that scene though? They said that you know, Chinese Chinese people want their bodies to be washed after they die.
Yeah.
Right? And they said, well, we don't have time to do that, so we're going to let them wash their own bodies.
Yeah.
That's so fucked up to even think about. You know what I mean? Like,
when that one dude was going up the elevator to the top, he gave him those cigarettes, and he said, here, it's enough cigarettes to last you the rest of your life.
Yeah.
As he said earlier, cigarettes are my life, when he wanted to pack.
Yeah.
And then you could see, like, when that lady was trying to organize shit, the one that brought the flag over to him.
Yeah.
She's in the streets trying to organize, and they're like, they got these big, it looks like a flag or something. They're walking through the street so people can throw shit in it.
Yeah.
The guy threw a necklace. I'm like, what are they going to do with a necklace, you know? She's like, we need sugar, bread, water.
Yeah.
You know? These guys over here fighting for us. Fucking cough it up.
They were shooting hams and shit through slingshots. Like, it's fucking nuts,
crazy,
man.
Dude.
Yeah. That's war, though, man. War is a fucked up thing.
Yeah. I was glad they didn't try to write in some kind of love story.
Yeah, I know, right?
You know, you had a few guys talking about people back home and stuff, but they didn't try to work that in. Like, like, you know, usually when we make a war movie, it's like, well, we got to have a love interest. It's like, we don't have to. I mean,
yeah.
It is a war
We don't have
movie.
to have one at all. So, well, I'm going to go ahead and rate it. I'm giving it a full star.
Yeah, man.
I really enjoyed it, and like I said, I want to watch it again with that knowledge, because like reading something and actually seeing everything and how it actually was, it's completely different. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's several scenes where they're spitting it out so fast, and you're trying. I'm down here reading it. I want to look at everything. I'm like, what was that? What's that thing over in the corner? Hey, back it up a little bit. Stop it. What is that?
Yeah.
So yeah, another view would probably be cool.
Yeah.
Now that I know what's said.
Yeah, man. I give it a star too. It's a hell of a war film.
Yeah.
I know that with those details that we were talking about a minute ago, I know there might be aspects of this movie that might have went over our heads. But as far as just a classic fighting for the homeland movie, it's up there, you know.
Let me ask y'all this. You're a high school history teacher, right?
Yeah.
Would you show this film?
Yes. I'd show this 1917.
If they can show the Saving Private Ryan sequence in high school, I would do it.
Well, I mean,
feel like this is a movie I would push to get shown.
Yeah.
But I feel like I would have to make sure I have a lot of paperwork to back up. Like, you know, students would be getting a paper saying, "Hey, we're about to watch a movie."
Yeah.
With a lot
if you don't
of
want them to watch
it,
then they shouldn't be here this day, or they got to set out of class. But
they're going to be in the library during this period if you need them. As
a teacher, man, you could sit up there and explain this shit for a week.
Yeah.
And you're still not going to get the point across that the movie shows you. Like,
yeah.
You know what I mean? Just how crazy it was. It's like, you know.
The movie had a lot of scope.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'd show it.
Well, and it's one of those things.
Can't sugarcoat it.
Yeah. And you could break the film down into different segments to where, like, you know, especially whenever the guy goes into the warehouse, like the Chinese official that goes in there, and they have that conversation, then you can, like, stop it right there, you know?
Oh,
do your talking points.
Yeah.
I'm sure this battle, this little part in the war, I'm sure there's an entire college course dedicated to it. Like, that's, you know.
Tell him what you told me earlier, man, about how many people died, because this number is going to throw you, but you got to realize when it actually started. But how many people died on what side and stuff? Because when I heard this, I was like, what?
All right, so whenever you go to Wikipedia and you look up the defense of Shanghai warehouse, it has right here. So you've got the Republic of China and the Empire of Japan. And it's the 88th Division, the 1st Battalion, 524th Regiment, which is 452 men. So this was the casualties and losses. On China's side, what would you think would be the casualties, Trav?
The movie makes it seem like people died in droves.
Tell him where it starts, though. Like when they count the siege thing, like.
All right, so it's 10 killed, 37 wounded. And
the start.
Well, what they're counting as is whenever the start of the days start happening. If that makes sense.
Because they've got their set war times.
That's
yeah.
So that's the kill count to start it.
No, that's the kill count of it actually playing itself out.
So not what we just watched?
Well, I think that if you go back and watch the kill count, then it's going to look way more than it is, of course. But 10 killed, 37 wounded. But there's 452 men there. There was more than 452 men there when the movie starts.
Yeah. They're not counting that entire
Yeah, they're not counting the whole time. Yeah. They're counting like the last push.
Yeah. The bridge scene and
yeah, from what I understand, it's the last push that happens because like it holds out for several days like it does here, but you had all those people that were fleeing from wherever they were in China into Shanghai for sanctuary, and anybody that was part of any of the military stuff, and they're just counting the the 524th Regiment.
Yeah, out of those guys.
Yeah. So like they're not counting every single person that died. No. They're counting what the casualty.
Because you had all those other soldiers from the other regiments that joined them.
Yeah.
On their way back to retreat.
Yeah.
And that's why they got mad at them. They were like, motherfucker, you supposed to die a mile down the road. What are you doing here?
Yeah. And then Japan's losses was 200 plus. Several armored cars destroyed and damaged. That's what it says here.
Damn.
Yeah. So they're just counting what the 524th Regiment, 88th Division, what their losses were. Because this is what it is. This is the National Revolution Army. It's the 524th Regiment, 88th Division, 1st Battalion, 524th Regiment, 1st Company, 1st Battalion, 2nd Company, 1st. It breaks everything down.
Yeah.
Like completely. It says initially containing around 800 men, the 1st was technically an overstrength battalion, but casualties suffered over the course of the Battle of Shanghai reduced its actual strength just prior to the battle to 452 men, including officers. Because of the confusion of the general retreat of soldiers and officers in the battalion. No, hold on. Because of the confusion of the general retreat, some units may have failed to make it to the warehouse, which caused a further reduction in strength down to only 414 men present at the beginning of the battle. 2 months of intense fighting had also whittled down the original German trained troops and around 5 rounds of reinforcements. The majority of the soldiers and officers in the battalion were garrison troops from the surrounding provinces. Most of the men were from the 1st Battalion, 5th Regiment of the Hubei Province Garrison. Hubei did not want to send its best troops to Shanghai, as these had trained over a decade to fight against the Chinese communists. Thus, many of the soldiers sent as reinforcements to Shanghai were green recruits, with the latest batch recruited after the outbreak of war on July the 7th. Official communications referred to the defenders as the 424th Regiment to mislead the Japanese as their actual strength. even though only the 1st Battalion took part in this battle, and other elements of the regiment continued to be active well into 1939. Eventually, the 1st Battalion came to be equated with the 524th Regiment, even within official documents of the period. So what? All right. So what happened here was you had all these people retreating.
Yep.
So they rebranded themselves right there on like day 4. You know what I'm saying? Like right before the final push.
Yeah.
As
Well,
the
and then if you think
524th
about
Regiment.
everyone that died before that final push, there's where all you're seeing all your deaths. Like,
yeah.
I mean, we saw a lot of people die. You know, it would have been like a little under 400.
Yeah.
That.
Yeah. So in that scene in the film where he's like, "How many men do we have left?" and he said 400, 423 or whatever it was,
420.
and he says no,
because I thought it was funny that it was 420.
Yeah, and he said no, we're 800 strong.
He was telling the reporter.
Yeah.
She said, "What do we report?" And he said, "I want the number bigger."
Yeah.
You know, like we can't let them know. And then here's what I'll add to that. Okay. The Chinese are very proud people.
Yes.
They were already doing some misleading with the reports of numbers, right?
Yeah.
Which is okay in war. You're allowed to do that.
Yeah.
More people could have died, but they just didn't want to. They were like, "No, you only killed 10."
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you could, it still wasn't enough to take us out.
Yeah.
I could see them doing that just for their country, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, we weren't there, of course, so we don't know what the actual number was, but they're basically saying from that final, from that final time period up until they started to retreat across the bridge is when those casualties were suffered. If they counted the whole shebang, who fucking knows? They might have been 800 strong to begin with. You know what I mean?
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
And then they rebranded it, and after that, that's when they get their showers and move in. But yeah, man, like, dude, and just reading that, it still doesn't you don't get the scope of things. Like,
no, not at all.
Just hearing that, it's like, oh, okay, there's a little war. It's like, yeah.
Yeah. No. But yeah, man, we all give it a star.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Recommend it.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and document that. While I'm doing the documentations here of the spreadsheets, y'all want to pivot on over into WV?
Yeah.
I'm trying to rebrand it.
WV.
And, well,
I was wrong.
We were all wrong.
Yeah. I was wrong, though.
But in a good way.
Yeah. So Agatha did want that bitch's power, and she got some of it.
Yeah.
But it just wasn't enough. She's not
enough.
She's kind of like, I like how they're making Wanda out to be kind of like a Dark Phoenix type, like her power. You know what I'm saying? If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Vision fight was fucking great.
Yeah.
Ship of Theseus was probably the best dialogue in the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Yes. Which was great. Like that whole sequence was fucking where Vision's powering up and he's like fixing to, and then he stops for a second and he's like, elaborate.
Well, he had a vision.
You know? Yeah.
Presents him with a paradox and it makes him think.
Yeah. And then he fucking opens his third eye and then that motherfucker just dips out. So what do you think? Like one of two things, right? He unlocks Vision's third eye. He's been programmed to destroy the Vision. He learns that he's the Vision. He unlocks some of the memories up until he was killed by Thanos, right?
Mm-hmm.
So does he like fly into the sun and destroy himself? Because they tried to. They went against his wishes to not be reprogrammed and repurposed as a weapon.
So maybe he's mad at them and he wants to hurt them.
Or, I mean, does he recognize like the threat that he has as a
weapon?
As a weapon?
No, I think he's going to come back to Wanda, dude.
Think so?
He's going to go process He's got to go process it all. He's a computer.
Yeah.
I think he's gonna process the part of him that is Jarvis, you know.
Yeah.
Because that's one of the biggest images that keep flashing during the memory things is when it gets to him and Wanda and that life and everything, and it's some really intense stuff. And coming off there, how much of how like when you replace something so much, is it still the same thing?
Yeah.
Because that was the whole concept of the ship at Theseus. Like how much, like we're the same thing.
Right.
Like and I feel like he's gonna go reflect. I'm sure it's gonna go through whatever course they have for that version of Vision in the comics. And I mean, I'm unfamiliar with it, but I feel like the MCU is gonna make him come back to Wanda at some point.
Yeah.
I mean, he's definitely going to show up and fight somewhere. They can't just throw that away.
Well, I mean, and it's one of those things. It's like, okay, like did she even see White Vision?
Yeah, they fought.
Like,
remember, he was going to smush her head.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
And so, but she never gets any kind of clarification.
Nah, she don't know. Yeah, they don't talk about it.
Yeah.
Or if they did, it wasn't on camera.
Yeah. So she's under the assumption that there's no Vision.
He had to tell her something happened to him, right? I mean, we didn't see it, but I mean, when he came back, I'd have been like, "Where's that other motherfucker?" You know?
Yeah.
Or hey, dude. I mean, this is her dome. Maybe she just knows. I mean, she could control what that motherfucker was doing, kinda.
Yeah.
So maybe she just knows.
Yeah. So, but so White Vision takes off, and then she starts like Agatha really got in her head.
Yeah.
Like in a big way.
Wanted that power.
Yeah. And I mean, I don't think that Agatha would have been able to contain it anyway.
Nah, it was too much.
I mean, it would have tore her apart.
Yeah.
We find out that she does in fact have the dark hold.
Yeah. And Wanda put a spell on her. I put a spell on you.
In a fucking jogging suit, dude.
Yeah, right. I loved her costume.
Oh, when she goes Super Saiyan, dude.
Yeah, that was
bust out
amazing.
in the full get up with a little headpiece on.
Yeah.
But here's I got a question about her putting a spell on Agatha, because the spell's on Agatha inside the dome and the dome's closed up. So where's she at now? Is she's
still in there.
She's still in it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
the spell
it,
she's
dude.
under now is she's under control. Like now
she's in it with the kids though, because she had to put that somewhere.
Yeah.
You know, Travis talking about there saying that she could hear the kids at the end. Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
But so what if they're in there with Agatha? Because they would be the two, you know. And I don't mean that in a bad way, because Agatha's been programmed. At this point, she could be a fucking nanny, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, she can't do anything wrong. But when that thing closed up, like, she's not going to be there anymore. And she put that spell on. She wanted to hold on to her.
Yeah.
You know, probably see her again.
Yeah.
But if she's in that, then are the kids in it? And then is the other Vision in it?
Right.
Because, you know, it just sucked up and went away. And they said, well, you could hear the kids. And it's like, well, if you can hear the kids, is he in the same place they're in? Or, but then here's the thing. Kids were crying. Would it make sense that they were crying if they're in there with Agatha?
Well, maybe the way I interpreted it was they had an existence and now they don't.
Yeah.
So now, like, I mean, they've been kind of locked away in like Dormammu's stomach somewhere.
And then is that why she's looking through that book real hard, dude? You know?
Yeah, I know.
I mean, learning all the magics.
Yeah. So, I don't know, man. I think that I'm glad that they left it where it was. I was expecting like something a little bit crazy to happen where it like, and maybe a cameo by Doctor Strange himself, but I was happy with where they left it at.
Yeah.
I mean, I
think it was the best decision to not include anyone more than the key dramatis persona of this story. Because at first I was like, man, that's kind of a bummer, you know?
Yeah.
But because, you know, we were all talking forever like, man, this guy's going to show up, or maybe these people will show up. And the internet was pretty much screaming Mephisto.
Yeah, I know, right?
And if any of those characters had shown up, it would have completely took the piss out of the past 8 episodes.
Overshadow.
Yeah, I agree.
One could possibly argue that by Luke Skywalker showing up at the end of Mandalorian doesn't matter anymore. That show is about Baby Yoda getting to Luke now.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see that.
I mean, not to divert, but you know, I agree with you. I think it was a really good thing in the long run that none of these extra characters showed up. We got the hints, and it played out like a classic Marvel movie, and you know, we got the post credit stuff. So
yeah,
you know, we still got our setups. It just they drove it home, let it be about Scarlet Witch becoming Scarlet Witch, and that was this whole show was really a pleasant surprise
because
I didn't know
origin thing.
I didn't know. Yeah, and for a character like that, and the way they approached her, and her whole story being about grief, something that needs to play out long format. It's hard to pack the kind of punch that this show did in a 90 to 120 minute movie. You know?
Yeah.
We were talking about this the other night, man. Like, to me, when we first see Wanda, and like, you know, when she first shows up in the MCU, I was like, to me, she's just a throwaway character, dude.
Yeah.
You know, I never thought they'd do anything with it. Then you see her fight, you know, Thanos a little bit, and it's like, oh, she almost kicked his ass.
Yeah.
But it was cool. Like, and now I'm like all on board for the character.
Yeah.
Like, she's right up there.
Absolutely.
You know.
Yeah.
If I'm playing poker, she's one of the cards. Like, I'm.
Yeah. And I think that they've established her enough in this series and with, you know, the films that she was in where she could certainly hold her own in a standalone film if they wanted to go that route. In my opinion, I don't think that they'll do it. I think if anything, they'll just have her be have another series
that or show up in other movies. We'll see her, you know. Yeah. I can't wait to see that Doctor Strange movie now. Like, that can't come out quick enough.
I saw a thing the other day where it was talking about Paul Bettany was like, I want to play Vision until I die.
Yeah.
He's like, I love that character.
He found his Iron Man.
Yeah.
And he's really good at it. Like,
he's fucking amazing.
I can't see anybody else doing it.
No, dude, not at all.
And he's almost toe for toe one of the longest running MCU cast members, like, period.
Yeah.
I like how he threw the internet that curveball with, like, there was an actor that he got to work with that he always wanted to work with him, and it was his fucking self.
Yeah, right.
That's where everybody was like, who could it be?
Yeah. Yeah.
What a curveball.
Right. I do have I'm going to take this from movie news. I'm going to go ahead and inject it here, and I'll go ahead and delete it out of there. So, WandaVision finale has fans divided. What promises did it fail to deliver? So, I'm going to hit the high points here, and then and we'll kind of talk through it. So, number one, Jimmy Woo's witness protection missing person was an unimportant nobody.
So it wasn't fucking Boner?
Because
I thought it was him after a little bit. I was like, maybe he's the missing person, witness protection shit.
Right. Because it says, you know, WandaVision based the entry of Jimmy Woo and Monica Rambeau on the missing person, but by the time the ending, the mid-credit scene and the post-credit scene rolled in, there was no hint at who it could be. So to me, it kind of felt like it could be open-ended as to, you know,
they left it open.
Yeah. So, all right, next, fake Pietro's real identity. Yeah. Evan Peters being introduced as X-Men's Quicksilver in the MCU universe wasn't just an unfounded fan theory, as the audio description of episode 5 clearly stated that Wanda stares at the version of Pietro from the X-Men films. But for him to not turn out to be what fans hope for is not the real issue. The problem is that he was chosen just so WandaVision could sneak a dirty joke in. to play on his real name, Ralph Bonner. So that
was it.
people are pissed.
I'm all right with it.
Yeah.
I mean, he was good while it lasted.
Yeah. Hayward's beef with Wanda was never elaborated. I mean, motherfucker wanted a promotion.
Well, yeah, I mean it's kind of
nothing on Evan Peters' portrayal as Quicksilver. He's done a good job, but were people really gonna be satisfied that the first fucking X-Men introduced into the MCU is Quicksilver?
Well, I mean, either way you cut it, he was the first X-Men introduced. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, whether it was like
they just snuck an introducing on you, dude. You didn't even know it. Like, it's like, oh, wait a minute, he wasn't introduced. Like, even though he was the Phaedro.
What do they call those where you run a pilot through a normal episode
like
of
simulator?
A series?
What?
No. You know how like they'll do an audience test for a pilot.
A screening.
Like they did it in The Office whenever they had Dwight's family show up.
Yeah.
And they were going to spin off into a Dwight
test screening.
The test screening.
Yeah, but like they actually aired it on prime time. You know what I mean? Like, so. But anyway, Hayward's beef with Wanda was never elaborated on. So that could, I mean, first of all, Hayward's still alive. Nobody died, which is the smart thing. Marvel's finally learned to not kill their fucking villains. Thank God. That was the biggest fucking mistake that they did with Black Panther, in my opinion. But
and with Captain America,
and with fucking Iron Man. But anyway,
damn.
But Hayward's still there, which means one or two
got
things.
His job. So
yeah, he's going to be a threat in the future to a certain extent. He could be working with Hydra. It could be future plot points. And you had to watch WandaVision to understand the extent that this dude was willing to go through to make this shit happen. You know what I mean? So
well now we've got something I'm sure is going to slowly start being called the Westview incident. You know?
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Right here, they made Darcy disappear for no reason.
Disappear from where?
Well, remember, Darcy said that she didn't like paperwork. That's why she wasn't there to fill out reports of what happened inside the dome.
Yeah.
But the people are pissed because she didn't do
fill out paperwork.
Yeah, pretty much.
She's going to be in another movie.
Yeah,
like exactly, it's not the last time you're going to see her, dude. Do you know how this works?
Yeah. Next, we've already touched on this. The big Luke Skywalker size cameo is Paul Bettany himself. We've already touched on that. The underwhelming fight between Agatha and Wanda. Now, I was not disappointed with
the fight. I thought the fight was great.
Underwhelming? That's what they're calling it?
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's hard to do that without it looking cheesy.
Yeah, and it looked great. It felt natural. Yeah.
I mean, that was almost a low-key fucking anime fight, dude.
Yeah. Well, and this was like, I mean, the fucking budget, everything was great on this because it felt legit, like it was pulled straight out of a Marvel film. You know what I mean?
I was talking about that with Trav the other night. Like, nothing suffered, dude. They had the same CGI team.
Yeah.
Same money backing it. The sets looked great.
Yeah. The writing was fucking
wasn't
incredible.
Some fucking, TV show for fucking WB or whatever that is they put them on.
Yeah. How can Wanda not face some sort of justice for what she did to the people of Westview?
She did. She lost her family.
Yeah, exactly. Even though she didn't. Well, how can you fucking arrest her?
Well, yeah. And then here's the thing, dude.
That's been my obvious thing. She's a walking reality stone. What could any of those townsfolk do to her?
As soon as she realized that she was hurting those people, she let them go. Remember when they woke up when they woke up and they were like, "Please let us sleep. I can't see my kids." And she's like, "Get the fuck out. Go."
Yeah, leave.
I didn't know. Yeah. I didn't know. She's like crying. She's like, "I didn't know."
Yeah.
I thought you guys were cool with it.
Yeah. So I just wanted to run through. That was the last thing. I just wanted to run through that list real quick because, I mean, dude, it's like a lot of. First of all, we got the story that we wanted, which was Wanda, Vision, and like what happened to her post
Yeah.
Endgame.
It's called WandaVision.
Yeah, and we got that. So I guess the people need to just shut the fuck up, right?
Yeah, fuck
I
that.
mean,
dude.
can we also make the comment too that like this proves that it's that a female-fronted superhero show
Yes, I know where you're going with this.
can be done well
Yes.
and not hang on tropes.
It's all up
Yes.
to the writing,
Or
man.
like you compare this to the other big budget female superhero stuff. WandaVision to me was a more engaging and intriguing story than Captain Marvel
Yep.
was.
Oh yeah, for sure, man.
It wasn't it wasn't like Wonder Woman at all.
No. It just had good writing, dude. Like,
It was interesting.
yeah, there was nothing wrong. And then, where those people were like, well, you just don't like the movie because it's a female superhero. It's like, well, this show was great.
Yeah.
I mean,
this shows you
so-
that other shit suffered from shit writing.
Yes.
Yes.
100%.
100%. Yeah. So
And I think the themes and the topics, not toxic, but the topics of WandaVision, it wasn't, it was very relatable. It didn't matter. The gender shit didn't matter. It didn't matter that Wanda was the main character, but she was, and she was great.
yeah. Yep. So WandaVision. What are you giving it?
I
Me?
really,
Oh,
I would get it. I'd give it a 10 out of 10, of course. I give it
Yeah.
a full star,
yeah.
but it makes me sad that there's probably not going to be any physical copies of this Disney Plus shit.
I know, right?
And
I mean, they'll print it, dude. They'll press it, right? They're all about making money, dude. I mean, of course, they want people to watch it on their streaming service.
I mean, we're almost 2 years out, dude, and we still don't even have a Mandalorian season 1 DVD.
Well, I think that they'll give it like I'm going to say like a 2 to 3 year grace period to where it has to exist on their streaming service before it gets a physical release or something
Right.
weird. That's what
Some
I
sort of
think.
physical sell, you think that would tap into their subscriber base?
Yeah.
I mean, well, maybe they feel it's redundant because I mean, it is, because why would you buy something you're already paying $10 a month and have on the fly? But I feel like there needs to be some sort of company that works with Disney to make something for movie collectors, for
Yeah.
for people, because it's the kind of thing where if I could get a hold of a physical copy of these properties right now, I would probably opt to pay for a collector edition
Yeah.
solely for that,
Well, and they may be doing that too, man. Because like, think about it. We don't know what's going to happen with Mandalorian. What if they're waiting until it's done? Because think about it. They're going to make the majority of their money off of the subscription service, right?
Yeah.
If they can release the whole series on Blu-ray for like $30, and let's say that a series for Disney Plus goes 4 seasons long, and they sell it for like 20 or $30, they're going to make some money off of it from the diehard fans, but
yeah.
they're going to get their big lump sum from those monthly subscribers.
And that's
So it
why
would
they
be-
wait
Yeah,
and then
But
release it later.
That's why I'm saying they should opt for just strictly a collector's edition, because if they made it worth the while content wise, I would easily pay $50, $60 for both seasons of The Mandalorian with some stuff with it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
I want the helmet, dude,
Ooh.
Yeah.
or a baby
Oh,
Yoda.
dude.
Yeah,
if
that
they,
little
if they
egg.
threw it, if they threw in a pure Beskar Mandalorian helmet with seasons 1 and 2 in it, I'll pay 120 firm for that all day.
Yeah.
And then sell it for $225 on
I would.
eBay. Nah.
I'll be buried with
Be
it on
flipping
my
it.
head.
But that egg, the little baby carriage
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
that he
dude.
rode around in him. Just think about that, dude. You open it, slides open, and it's like it's soft on the
disc is
inside.
sticking.
Yeah.
Yeah. The discs are stuck in it. Yeah.
And that makes sense because it's like, the little Yoda pod.
Yeah.
Well, like, dude, you
God.
could open it up, and inside of it, you have like things that are reminiscent, or like some of the small stuff that Baby Yoda was known for. Like he has the the little ball from the thrust thing in the Razor Crest.
Oh yeah.
Or like a little jar of the eggs from the frog alien, you know, like little shit like that.
That little ball from that one right there would be the nice little trinket to have.
Yeah,
and when you open it, you can hear Baby Yoda cooing. Coo.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, oh,
yeah, taking me back.
yeah, it makes me want to watch it.
Bows, you know.
Yeah.
So if WandaVision made a collector's set, what are things y'all would hope they would try to make something of?
It would have to be like a what I would like to see, and I know this would probably never happen, but it would be cool if there was a way for them to make like a pop-up city of Westview.
Yeah.
Like a map.
Yeah, but it's like an actual pop-up book version of it. When you open the map up, you know, the town square, you know, the Wanda's house, like certain areas that we visited a lot actually pop up, and then like it's just like the dome is implied. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Or like the White Vision would be a good inclusion. Like if there was something that had it's either Vision's head or White Vision's head or just her.
Or dude, or what about like a really like you get a nice stand for it, because you know how you can get like the cowls of Batman and stuff.
I was thinking of TV.
Oh,
You
yeah.
get one. You get one that's got her coronet on it, the red thing that she forms out of her energy.
Yeah, I'd be fine with that,
Or
man.
coronet, whatever it's called. I saw something where they were saying that like there were the Easter egg for her I don't want to call it a tiara because it is not a fucking tiara.
No.
It's called like a coronet because it's the name of the theater in the show.
Yeah.
In the actual show, the name of that theater is the name for the thing that's on her fucking head.
Right.
It would be cool if they had did it not say? Like a little TV, man. It was like a little box. It's not gonna let me post it. But it's got
Make
this,
it look like the Dick Van Dyke show box
like
set.
old TV with, I'm putting it in general. This is on the front of the TV, like, and it blends into the sides and shit. You know, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Little TV with that image on it
That would be fucking awesome.
as a box. That'd look good on the shelf.
Dude, let it be the screen spectrograph thing that Darcy has to put up on the computer to fucking dial it in. Not like that tall, but like a smaller, like think Funko Pop kind of style with it, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, I would gladly buy WandaVision. Like, it's totally worth sitting on the shelf.
I'm giving it a full star, guys. It was fucking great. And now next week, nothing. But we're coming in strong the week after that with, you guessed it, Falcon Winter Soldier, dude.
Yeah.
So
we're getting right back in there.
Yeah.
The Marvel ball's certainly rolling now, so.
You know at some point they're going to make reference to it.
Oh, yeah.
Someone
Unless
will.
It's happening at the same time.
Yeah.
Which, you never know. But somebody
There'll be a
will
little Easter egg.
Yeah, yeah. So.
I'm sure it'll be something off key, like an agent just came in, like, yeah, just got here from Westview, and then, they don't say anything of it.
You know?
Yeah, like they'll be like, yeah, it was pretty crazy over there, and we're like, yeah, we know, we saw the finale too, you know.
Yeah,
we were watching it.
You were part of the circus, bro.
So,
go ahead.
So do you guys think that the Photon post-credit scene was that set up for Captain Marvel 2, or do you guys think they're just gonna keep her in Secret Invasion?
I think that's supposed to be in Captain Marvel 2, right?
Yeah, I think it's setting up for both. I think that either Secret Invasion is going to lead into Captain Marvel or vice versa.
Yeah.
So I think that it's both.
And that's another TV show, right?
Secret Invasion is.
Because when I saw that, I was like, man, they're already planting the seeds for it now. Because I don't even think that show's got like a director, a cast, or anything. Like, it's just been greenlit. It doesn't have any kind of pre-production going on.
Right, but they've been working on that Captain Marvel film, so it could be Captain Marvel leads into that, and then the ramifications of that, But yeah, I think that's what I think, and I think that like with Wanda looking through the book, learning all this stuff, I think that she is going to attempt to use whatever she learns to get her children back. And that is where Doctor Strange is going to come into play. She's going to fuck a bunch of stuff up in the process.
Well, he's gonna want that book back, right?
That's what I think the angle's gonna be. He's gonna show up with Wanda and be like, "I'm gonna need that back," or they're gonna work together. And then, like in the a third act twist where she's like, "Well, I know an incantation," and she pulls this fucking book out, and he's like, "How do you have that?"
Yeah, that's where it's been. Fuck.
We've been looking for that for a very long time.
Yeah. Where's Wu at? You know, get Wu in here. So, you want to hit on a couple of movie news thingies here?
Yeah, man.
We got a couple. So Trav dropped this in. Japanese horror manga Hellsing is getting a film adaptation from Amazon and John Wick writer. The action horror manga Hellsing is headed. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was just saying, I think this can translate well to live action, man.
I think it can. If they do it stylized in a very stylized way, then it's going to have no issues.
Because the gunfights can absolutely translate into a John Wick style action sequence, honestly.
Yeah.
Because they'll just be a little bit of shit talk before Alucard throws down, and then it's just anime shenanigans from them.
Yeah.
From there on, and it's just like, cause the whole thing is that he's this vampire. It's got these. He's this weird amalgamation of fucking Dracula, and he wields like these two pistols. He's a gunfighter and shit, and it's crazy.
Yeah. So it says here that this is all right. Derek Kolstad, who's the writer for John Wick, said that ever since my brother introduced me to the Hellsing manga and anime some years ago, I've been obsessed with adapting it. And this is what it is. Hellsing reimagines Dracula as Alucard, a special agent bound to the Hellsing organization under the leadership of Integra Helsing, great granddaughter of Abraham Van Helsing, to aid them in their mission to protect England and the world from vampires, ghouls, and other supernatural threats. The manga also focuses on Helsing's newest recruit, a female ex-police officer named Saris Victoria. Mike Callahan of production company Ranger 7 Films said, "I've always loved the vampire genre, especially when a creator is able to put their own unique spin on it. So when Derek introduced me to Alucard and the Helsing organization, I knew we had something special in that tradition." Kota Hiranos, Gonzo reimagining of the Dracula Van Helsing mythology is an exhilarating, quirky mashup of action and horror that's unlike anything that we've seen before. We're incredibly excited to partner with Brian and Fred at Automatic, and that Amazon is on board to help us bring the wit and madness of Helsing to the screen. So yeah, that's going to be fucking nutty, dude.
Oh yeah.
So I'm excited. I really like the anime, the Hellsing anime. Very easy to digest, very crazy. If they can bring that style and some of those visuals over to live action, and they got to cast the right person, of course, as Alucard. His personality is one of the driving factors of the show.
Gonna have to be a total fucking asshole, dude.
Yeah, I mean, he's got
just this smart ass. Like he's quippy, but in like one of his best. Some of his best shit talking is when he's fighting the fucking priest.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're just going back and forth and stuff. But here's my thing. I'm pulling up an image really quick. Trying to find a decent one here.
All right, while you hit on that, I'm gonna hit this next topic. Disney Plus is pulling down iconic movies, Dumbo, The Aristocrats, and Peter Pan from the kids section for racist stereotypes. So yeah. So it says for Dumbo, they explain that the crows and musical number pay homage to racist minstrel shows
Mm-hmm.
where white performers with blackened faces and tattered clothing imitated and ridiculed enslaved Africans on southern plantations. Um, aristocrats because of the Asian
Cat.
influence. Yeah. And of course, Peter Pan from What Makes the Red Man Red.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
So yeah, casting this motherfucker, you know, like, and good luck to the costume department because
yeah. A
they
lot
could
of
really
CGI.
make him look like they can make him look fucking stupid if they don't fucking do it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be a
And
real fine line to walk on there.
and so the thing with this guy Adam is that like he's basically their version of Dracula. The Helsings have caught him, and
Mm-hmm.
he more or less works for them. And it makes some people probably would think, be like, why don't he just fuck them up and leave? Well, they've got spells on him, like levels of security clearance that's been imbued in him, like magically and shit. And there'll be these moments where he's got to level up to beat whatever he's fucking fighting, and so he has to request permission from the woman from Sarah's Victoria. No, the well, you know, Integra, that's her name.
Yeah.
And when she authorizes it, he fucking has to like say this. He has to say like where it would normally be some fucking gibberish ass spell. He's all like, you know, security 4 clearance confirmed, alpha protocols, blah 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 blah, and then he just fucking turns into something else, and it's just like, it's
Yeah.
gonna visually be badass if they do it right.
Yeah. If they can capture those moments cinematically, it's going to be insane. I'm excited about it. I'm not excited about them removing these beloved cartoons, but
No, they're still gonna be available to adults. But what they're gonna do though is they're gonna
Taking
be
off the
kind of like when
kids
they did.
section.
Well, yeah, when they
How
did the
they split
first.
Netflix.
Well, remember when Disney Plus first launched? When you would try to watch Song of the South, you'd be given a disclaimer. It says, you know, there's some racial stereotypes depicted in the movie
Yeah.
and stuff, and gave you those warnings. That's essentially what's going to happen to these films now. They're not in the kids section, but any of the adult users, you can still pull it up and watch it. It's just going to give you that. They're going to give you a warning before it's all, you know, before it's streaming on your shit.
yeah. So let me ask y'all this. You got young children. You letting them watch Peter Pan, the Aristocats, and Dumbo?
Bro, if I
My
had
children
kids,
have
they would have
already
already
watched
seen
them.
these movies. Yeah.
My
That's
kids
what I'm
already
saying.
have.
Yeah.
And you want to know something like
They
I
didn't think
watched
nothing
these,
about it.
and neither did I until
Yeah.
it got brought up.
The crows have always been something that's been talked about, but
Yeah.
that was a little bit of a dig there. The explanation of that, it was a little bit of a dig where they were going with that, but I mean, the red man. What makes the red man red? He's a fucking Indian, dude. Look at him. I mean,
Yeah.
what are we gonna what? Cartoons in the future, it's just gonna be like a stick man,
Yeah.
you know, and
No
everybody's gonna look the
personality.
same, and
Yeah.
I mean, I think it should be made clear that, like, I think it's something that goes without saying, and I think that's why we don't really bring it up. There's nothing wrong with pointing out something that maybe people may not have noticed.
Yeah.
That's the learning experience of being able to look back on stuff.
Yeah.
But some of the extremes, you know, are going a little overboard.
Yeah.
Now, if it's something that's like just completely that's the topic of what you're watching, then yeah, get the fuck out of here. Whatever. Let it be preserved in a museum for whatever you want to call it, for culture's sake, you know, remembrance, however, whatever
heritage
significance it
museum.
wants to have. Yes. Lock it up, put it away, and then nobody gets to watch it anymore.
Yeah.
Not a big deal, because if people aren't thinking like that, then they're not going to care. The only people who are going to care about an old ass movie are people wanting to watch old ass movies.
Yeah.
And as we've seen with the advent of streaming, it's kind of come back, but for the most part, people still, you go pull up the numbers for movies and guarantee you these movies are like low on the list, especially for like kid demographics, maybe.
Yeah.
Unless those numbers are skewed because it's the parents controlling the device, but or whatever. It just, I don't know.
Yeah. I understand.
I think you can appreciate the approach and what they're trying to do in the type of times we're having.
Yeah.
But you know, I think that's the best decision is to just put a label on it before the movie starts. Let it be part of the credits. Hey, this movie is going to depict some culturally insensitive material. Viewer discretion is advised.
It was the 30s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know.
Right.
I mean, and I think that's the polite and logical way of pointing that out and being like, okay, proceed with caution. Because nobody, I really think when you think about the times you watch these movies as a kid, or with, you know, like I did with my kids when they were little, and maybe you guys with you know, nieces, nephews, little brothers, stuff like that. These type of movies don't have a racial message really. It's just they're fairy tales and stories about, you know,
Indians
stuff for children, you
know,
know.
and it's a fucking Siamese cat, you know.
I guarantee you, if you let your kids watch Peter Pan and they walk up to someone that they think is Native American and they say, how, that guy is not going to think twice about it, and he is going to play along because it's a child. You know
I
what
don't
I
even
mean?
think the kids would do that.
No, I don't think they
You
would
know?
either. But I'm just saying on the off chance
Yeah.
that was to happen. You know what I mean?
Do you think a lot of the societal problems that we're having now, do you think
Cancel
that
culture?
do you think that by highlighting said issue, particularly issues found in things that those meanings aren't primarily derived from, do you think the act of pointing it out is what causes most of the ongoing, you know, problems and
For people
arguments,
to
I
think
guess?
that way about it?
Well, it's like you take seemingly innocent kids' family movies.
Yeah.
You find some sort of racist or stereotype, you know,
well, and then they're
something
trying
like
to get
that.
brownie points too, man, because it's Disney. They're like, Disney, look what you're doing. It's like,
Because it's like it's like it seems two-edged. It's like the kid wasn't even gonna think that
I
until
mean, when I
it got
watched them
brought
when
up
I
on
was a kid,
screen.
dude,
Now
I never thought anything about it. I watched all 3 of those movies many times at my grandmother's house because she had them on VHS. I mean, I can't tell you how many times I've seen Peter Pan or Dumbo. Like,
I mean, you
never
wanted
thought
Dumbo to
twice
get the
about it.
hell out of that circus.
Yeah.
You wanted fucking Peter Pan to beat Captain Hook.
Yeah.
You weren't thinking about.
I mean, that's the
Man,
moment, dude. The moment
the
when he
social
learns how to
oppression,
fly with the crows.
the social commentary. Like, why are we bringing up what could be considered post-social commentary over something?
I think a lot of the
that's
reason
not the point
that
of
it was brought up with these is because Disney Plus is a thing now, and people that maybe didn't have access to these movies have access to them. Now they can just pop it up and pull it up and watch it and let their kid watch it. And then they didn't even think about it when they were little and watched it. But now that they're seeing it and the stuff that's going on, they're like, wait a minute, we got to complain about this.
Well, you know, and I mean, I guess I get it. Why?
Dr. Seuss
Why
books.
wouldn't? Well, like if it wasn't, if that's not what it meant, then why put it in there in the first place? It's just weird, because were people interpreting that stuff then like we do now? Like, you know, the level of interpretation that's snowballed over the decades. I'm sure it is in some things.
Yeah.
But
well, do y'all want to talk about something that's very unexpected?
Yeah.
Sure.
Transitioning over from
that bullshit.
Stereotypes. Now Steven Spielberg is making a very personal film, and I didn't know anything about this, right?
A very personal film.
Yeah. He's making a film about his own childhood.
Oh, I'm down to see that. Yeah, he's like making movies when he was a kid and shit. And...
Yeah. It says here that according to multiple reports, Steven Spielberg will direct and co-write the upcoming movie for his company Amblin. Michelle Williams, meanwhile, is talks to star in the role that is inspired by Spielberg's mom. She won't be playing a version of the filmmaker's actual mother, rather a character that is inspired by her. Other roles have yet to be cast, including children at multiple ages, who will presumably give us a window into what it was like for Spielberg growing up. So my question is, has there ever been a situation like this ever happen, where you have someone making a biopic about themselves?
I was just thinking about that. Like I was over here like, he's making his own biopic. Like,
yeah, right.
Which, I mean, dude, at the end of the day, what better director to have making your movie than fucking Steven Spielberg? So
yeah, it's my story.
I mean, he was there.
Yeah.
So we can't like be like, well, they fucked up the writing, but there's probably some shit he'll leave out and certain things he'll put in. But
yeah,
I mean, I'm down to see that.
Yeah, I am too.
I know that from listening to him, I know that when he was a kid, he got into kind of like J.J. Abrams and other people. They got into filmmaking and had little Super 8 cameras and
yeah,
it'd be cool to see all that.
Yeah, right. Next, we got they're already working on Coming to America 3. Yeah.
Have y'all watched that yet?
I've seen the second one. Yeah.
So have I.
Yeah.
I haven't watched it yet. No, I haven't watched it yet.
I'd say watch it, man.
Yeah, it was funny. That's what I was saying the other day. Like, definitely worth the watch. It's funny.
Me and my wife had watched it and we were talking about it, and I was the classic like 90s comedy or late 80s, early 90s comedy, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
It was refreshing to visit that sense of humor again.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, y'all know it was the same director that did Dolomite.
Really?
Yeah. And that movie's good, so.
Yeah.
But it was the same director that wrote and directed Dolomite. And what was cool, man, was all like, if you're a fan of the original, they do a lot of pretty much the whole movie's fan service. Like,
right.
You got all the characters that revisit. Dude, when they go back into that barber shop, and he's like, they're saying all this shit, and they're like, it's fucking Kunta Kinte and all this stuff. And the one guy's like, yeah, like one of those babies with flies on him. He went, hey, man, you can't be saying shit like that. We're saying shit like that in my barber shop. It's fucked up.
Wesley Snipes.
He kills it, dude.
He pulled a comedic performance out of his ass, dude. It was brilliant.
Yeah, it's worth the watch. For sure. And I'll watch the third one. Hopefully it won't take 3 fucking years to come out,
Yeah. I was just wanting to mention it here.
It's as over the top as the first movie.
Right. Next up, I wanted to hit on this real quick. So we haven't seen this dude since he did Vice, right? But Christian Bale's coming back.
Oh shit.
Apparently it says directed by Scott Cooper. The Pale Blue Eyes stars Christian Bale as a detective investigating grisly murders in 1830 with the help of Edgar Allan motherfucking Poe.
Okay.
Yeah. Netflix has picked up the rights to the gothic horror thriller The Pale Blue Eye. Deadline reports that the streaming service spent around $55 million for the movie, which reunites lead star Christian Bale with director Scott Cooper. Bale previously worked with Cooper in the 2013 crime drama Out of the Furnace, and again in the 2017 Western Hostels. The two will both produce The Pale Blue Eye alongside Josh Lesher and Cross Creek's Tyler Thompson. Based on the Louis Bayard novel of the same name, The Pale Blue Eye is written by Cooper. Its plot revolves around a series of murders taking place in 1830 at the U.S. Military Academy at West Point. Christian Bale will play a veteran detective who investigates the murders, helped by a detail-oriented young cadet who will later become Edgar Allan Poe. It hasn't yet been revealed who will be playing the world-famous writer. And then it goes on to like other shit.
The last thing I saw Bale in was that Ford v Ferrari. I'm not a motherfucking car guy, dude, but that movie slapped.
You were in it?
Oh, dude. I couldn't stop watching it.
Right.
Was that good?
It was good, dude. I don't even like cars, dude. I'm not one of those.
Well,
their acting and how he pulled that character off.
I came close to watching it.
Watch it, dude. Because I didn't know anything about that story. You know, it's all based on a true story. Those are real people. You know, it's worth to watch, dude. I mean, they built
Wasn't that a contender of the year it came out?
Yes.
Yeah.
What was its competitor? Because I feel like we watched it instead. Wasn't it Once Upon a Time in Hollywood?
Possibly.
Yeah.
That was 2019, so yeah, I think so.
Yeah, sounds right.
There was a lot of movies that came out that year, though, that were Oscar worthy.
Yeah, wasn't that a good year for?
Wasn't that Parasite?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Green
same
Book?
year. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's a big year for movies.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just wanted to mention that. So I watch him in anything, though, and that sounds like a great.
That sounds really good, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And Netflix, I mean, after that, The Devil All the Time.
Yeah.
I'm sold American, dude.
Yeah.
I'm in it.
I watched that Extraction movie on Sunday.
Yeah.
It's on Netflix.
What did you think about it?
Because I thought it was great, dude. And here's what I want to say about this movie. It has some really good camera work, dude. There's these scenes where the camera will be in a car and they'll slam on their brakes and the camera goes through the window and keeps moving like it's like they pass it through the window.
Yeah.
And it's just so
Russo
fluid,
brothers,
dude. And like, whoa, man, it's good, though. I liked it. Netflix is killing it, man.
Apparently the Extraction. Well, apparently there's like a little film universe they're building in that, like different movies are like, I guess they're all taking place within like the same world, obviously. Yeah. But
I think that Anthony Mackie movie where he has the robot skin, I think that's part of it.
I watched some of that with Deidre.
How was it?
I enjoyed what I watched. I mean, I had something already planned that I went on to do, but she finished it. She didn't say anything bad about it.
She didn't come in and be like, "Trav, fuck this movie," and walk out.
Oh, she would do that if that happened. She's done that before.
Oh, I know she would. You'd be on Discord and she'd come in there and be like, "Tell the guys not to watch that fucking movie." So next up, I wanted to hit on this real quick. Travis brought this up last night, I believe it was.
Oh yeah.
So HBO accidentally leaks Justice League to certain viewers of the Tom and Jerry film.
I mean, an oh no of all
what a treat,
you know?
Yeah.
1 hour.
Yeah. So
apparently, and maybe, I mean, it could be, you know, photoshopped images, man. But apparently there were screenshots where the run times were like 3 hours in, 4 hours in, like.
Right.
There's apparently leaks. There's apparently leaks of characters and stuff like that are in it. So I mean, I haven't seen them, but I know
check that link
there.
out in that dude's tweet. He was happy.
Yeah, Doug tweeted about Doug.
I think y'all gonna be late for work.
So Doug tweeted and said, "Someone's getting fired. Tom and Jerry, this is not. Hashtag Snyder Cut. Says media not displayed." He said the CG finally rivals that of Marvel, and you're gonna love it. That's all I'm saying. No spoilers. Get excited. Then he said in a follow-up tweet, he confirmed that the error has since been fixed, but further teasing the quality by writing, "They figured it out and cut the feed, but I can say the first hour or so of the Snyder Cut is the best DC film I've ever seen."
Woo!
Doug.
That's what happened. Doug was late for work that day.
Yeah. Could you imagine?
No.
Let's just run through this scenario for a second. You call into work, you're feeling a little under the weather. Maybe you had a stomach virus the night before. I don't know. I
Yeah.
don't know your intestines, right?
Yeah.
But
We don't know your
you call
diet.
into work. Yeah. You call into work the next day. You're like, man, I don't feel good. I'm just gonna take a day. You know, I got personal time and sick time, so fuck it. You're like, what's on HBO, man? Oh, I love Tom and Jerry,
The
man.
trailer was amazing.
Yeah, I grew up on that shit. Them motherfuckers didn't say shit. I want to check it out, see how good it is. And you press play, and you're like, I might take a nap. You know, if I fall asleep during Tom and Jerry, it's not that big of a deal. And then Justice League starts fucking playing.
Yeah.
Dude, better than chicken noodle soup, man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He
I
won't
would
call in
immediately.
for a while
I would have called both of you immediately.
and been like, it's happening.
It's on. Watch Tom and Jerry now.
Yeah.
Adam, how can I get my fucking OBS hooked to my TV?
That's what I'd be trying to do.
Yeah, right.
Record it.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, the like you were saying in some of the tweets, man. The tweet that I think was in the link I dropped was dude was like, went to watch Tom and Jerry for background noise, and instead I watched an hour of an amazing movie.
Well, the good thing is we don't have that much longer to wait, guys.
Nah, dude.
We've got
It's like 9
what,
days, man.
a week. Yeah, almost
Yeah.
a week. So
Next weekend, right?
yeah. Oh yeah. So, and I already know what I'm doing. I'm watching all of it in one swoop.
Yes.
So I'm gonna work
Mhm.
super hard on that Saturday to get all my shit done. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then Sunday, might as well fucking yeah.
Well,
Oh yeah.
if it falls, it's the 18th, right?
The
Yeah.
19th. Oh, yeah, 18th.
Well, that's a up in the air kind of day for me, but just assume that that day, if I'm not online, that's what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I'm watching
yeah.
it.
Yeah. If it didn't like if I didn't have to work,
Yeah.
I would come home and watch it. Because there's no way I could come home and like be ready to start it at 8. I'd be up until midnight watching that shit.
Yeah.
It's one of those moments where I question myself, where it's like, do I dare request the day off? And they're like, why? I go, because a 4-hour movie's coming out, and I intend to watch it.
Yeah.
Well, dude,
during the day.
We signed the petition. It should be a fucking national holiday at this point.
They should let everyone off work.
Yes, it's
Snyder
like the
Cut
Super
Thursday.
Bowl. Yeah. So
every third week of March.
I saw somebody posted something online about a movie that was like changed drastically from, like the director was either fired or whatever, the studio intervened and they came, I don't remember, it was like some kids movie, right?
Yeah.
And they're like, and it didn't do that well. And the director, somebody spoke out against it, was like, look, this wasn't the original vision I had planned. And somebody commented on it. And I meant to clip it and send it to y'all, but the comment was, I can't wait to see the Snyder cut of this movie. So now everything that is going to be like a director's cut is going to be referred to now as a Snyder cut.
Mm-hmm.
They changed the landscape of director's cut.
Oh, yeah.
Ridley Scott tried real fucking hard.
Yeah.
To change the landscape with Blade Runner. He should have just called it the fucking Scott cut or something like that. You know what I mean? Like the Ridley cut. But no. He had to go fucking Final Cut Part 2 director version.
See, now there's the theatrical release. You got the director's cut with some extra footage. Then now the top tier.
Snyder cut.
Dude. This is everything the filmmaker wanted to put in it.
Yeah.
Not removed.
Yeah. So, all right, I got 2 more for you, and they're both gonna be short but sweet. So this was 5 days ago on disinsider.com. Come on. The X-Men are reportedly coming to the MCU sooner than expected. Title called The Mutants. Back in December last year, Disney Investor Day saw a lot of new content coming to the MCU. However, the X-Men were not part of the announcement. Well, today, our friends over at the Illuminerd Illuminati have
Mhm.
found out that there is indeed an X-Men film coming, and it's called The Mutants. Fans have been waiting for this announcement since Disney Fox merger. We already have the Fantastic Four making their way into the MCU, and now X-Men will be making that jump as well. Deadpool 3 was announced back in December, and we will see his introduction in the MCU with Reynolds coming back for the film. No further information has been released, and there's no official confirmation regarding this news. So Illuminati said that there's going to be. So, in my opinion, if they're gonna, the Mutants sounds like something that would be a series, right?
Mhm.
To me, it doesn't sound like something that would. I'm not gonna say hold weight as a film, but like you've got so many different versions of mutants, so many different teams. So it's like, okay, what are we gonna do if we did the mutants? And just think about, like, I'm gonna spin off on a tangent here for a second,
Mhm.
but just think
Okay.
about it for a second. Each episode focuses on the origin story of a different mutant,
Mm-hmm.
and
That'd be
it's like
nice.
a
Bring them all together
7
type thing.
well, it's a 7 to 10 episode anthology series where each episode focuses on a different character. No crossover, no connection, no correlation, nothing. It's just the introductions of this character, and how they, what their powers are, what they had to go through whenever they were getting their powers, and going forward from there up until a point where something happens, and just have like the something that happens be something that happens off screen, like it cuts to black,
Yeah.
um, you know, and let that be that, and let it be speculation up until whatever. It could be something as simple as Xavier, you know, reaching out to him, and like it cuts from there, like you hear a little something, but you don't get much. Or it could be something as much as like Magneto, reaching out or whatever. But I would be okay with that. If they didn't want to go balls in on an X-Men movie, an Alpha Flight movie, Excalibur movie, like any of that kind of stuff with any of the mutant teams, do an anthology series where you tell the backstory and the story of one mutant at a time, and pick like some very, very unknown type mutants here. Like pick
Yeah.
maybe one or two, like maybe Iceman would be a good one, or maybe like Nightcrawler would be an interesting one, but pick some very unknown
Yeah.
mutants, because I mean they've got enough
Yeah.
places to put stuff that you can actually have these characters and develop them. So that's where I'm going to stop at right there. I think that it's a no brainer for them to do something like that,
Yeah.
but I don't work at Disney, so
Mhm. Thank God.
hey,
Or do some
Would
of
you want to
the
work there?
if they
or
got rid of
ha-
Kathleen
if
Kennedy,
it's
That's what I'm
yes.
saying,
if it's
Luke.
just called the if it's just called the mutants and they go the route like you're suggesting where it's like, hey, let's use more obscure heroes.
Yeah,
Have the show narrated by Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool.
Oh.
yeah, that would be great, right?
Like
He's like, here's a
that
little
way
story
Deadpool doesn't
about
have to
some.
show up. He's just there. Yeah, he's
Yeah.
like, it's like this is a story about hot hands
No.
here.
The story about some guys you really don't know much about because their books didn't sell as many copies.
And
Yeah,
if there's one that's if there's one that's like really grim or whatever, have it to where the episode or the episode starts and have it where Deadpool's like the Crypt Keeper.
oh my God,
On this episode, things get a little
Yeah.
out of hand.
yeah, it gets spooky, guys.
Have him like, remember that, what was that show with Cliff in it? The robot. What was that show?
Oh, Doom Patrol,
I remember the guy, was it Mr.
Negative Man,
Yeah, the guy that was always talking over everything?
Yes.
Mr. Nothing.
And like
Yes.
that was it, Mr. Nothing. So like something would be happening on screen and it would pause and he would start talking and then it would just
That was
start back up
awesome.
again.
Yeah,
So imagine it like that.
yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
That'd be great.
I
Cue
really,
the pretentious title sequence.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed season 2, but that fourth wall breaking of season 1 and him narrating it was so fucking genius.
Yeah, dude.
Like I wish that they would have continued that trope.
Yeah.
And maybe they'll bring it back because now he's out of the painting. And maybe they'll bring it back to where he's narrating again. But that was such a genius idea. They should have done that the whole the whole series, in my opinion. And Nathan, or not Nathan, what was it? Tudyk?
Alan Tudyk.
Alan Tudyk. He was perfect for that role.
Yes.
So, but yeah, man, if they do the mutants, they should do it as a series, and it should be an anthology series about more of like the B unknown mutants, and just let that be that.
And they could just keep that going.
Yeah.
Anytime they want to sprinkle in some shit, just.
Yeah.
Well, because we all know that like they'll introduce the heavy hitters in the films at some point.
Yeah, or they'll do a Peter Parker Spider-Man type situation where it's like these characters exist. You know enough about Cyclops, Jean Grey, Wolverine, Professor Xavier, Magneto, Mystique. You know, like you can go through the whole fucking list of people that you know.
Like that, any of those characters could show up, and we wouldn't need their origin story.
No, not at all. Not at all.
I'm excited about this one.
That would be respectful to the body of work of X-Men films that came before them, for good or bad.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's such a long-running franchise that it should be like the actors' work should be respected, and they did get enough out that they left enough out in some of those stories that things can be embellished and elaborated on.
Yeah, for sure. Lastly, on the movie news, and we've talked about this on the show before, and I finally found like a legit written article about it. But Letterkenny fans want Jared Keeso as Wolverine.
Just don't see it.
Man, come on. He could do it, man. He's a good actor.
I watched some of that 799 or whatever show he does where he's a cop.
Yeah.
I've watched some of it, man, and like I don't know. I don't. Could he play a hero? Sure, but I just don't know if it could be Wolverine.
I think that like his personality in Letterkenny feels very Wolverine-esque, in my opinion.
Don't give a fuck thing.
Well, like that him vibe. Being like, yeah, like park at the end of the drive. You know, like that. Yeah, and yeah, of course, like all the smart ass stuff will be
Big
taken
dick
out,
energy,
and all the quips and all that stuff. But like his raw personality, where he's gonna beat the shit out of whoever he has to fuck up.
Yeah,
and like that to me, that sells the character alone.
Now, would I like to see that? It'd be awesome, but will they do something like that? Because that is a small group of people. You know, when you look at some of the numbers that other stuff pulled. Letterkenny gets a lot of views. I've watched it. I think we've all watched it.
Yeah.
But I know a lot of people that I'll bring it up and they never heard of it. And I'll be like, oh, you need to get on that. It's on Hulu or whatever it's on.
It's just because Wolverine, his recast is such a great unknown right now.
I saw an article that said they may get the Homelander guy to do it, and I was okay with that too.
I mean, we haven't had this big of a recast situation going on since Edward Norton. Well, since Spider-Man and Edward Norton were recast, you know.
Yeah.
And I mean, as far as like a very a long-running actor playing this role, there's never been anyone else. Like Wolverine's never been rebooted.
Yeah. Yeah.
Some big shoes to fill.
Yeah,
for sure.
So here's some reasoning here. Hugh Jackman has already stated he will not return as Wolverine to the X-Men franchise. As there are rumors of X-Men reboots under Disney and Marvel, I offer the only logical casting solution for one of the most recognizable comic book characters, certainly within the X line, Jared Keeso. Is that how you pronounce his last name? Keeso? Jared Keeso is a character actor likely best known for his show Letterkenny, which he co-created, co-writes, and stars in. He has had multiple other roles, while mostly minor, in a wide range of popular movies and television shows. They add that not Keeso shares a lot of similarities with the popular comic book character, saying he is actually Canadian. He's 5'10", so he's not too tall. Hopping up Keeson even further, the fan goes on to say that the Letterkenny star already has years of experience playing a smoking tough guy and is already in damn good shape. In fact, the only downside they can see with his casting suggestion is that the studio would need to invest in hair dye. but that with Disney's budget should not be a huge ordeal. So yeah, I mean, I've heard some people say that, but I don't know, dude. It's like it's a sixth sense. I can see it. I can see him playing the character. I don't know. He's got that strong
Well, he's got
jaw.
that stoic stance.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah. He'd be like, they're like, you
Now,
want to come help us on this
are
mission?
we talking full costume Wolverine, or are we?
I'm talking biker jacket Wolverine.
You're not talking yellow and blue?
I'm talking yellow and blue and brown. I'm talking brown suit, dude.
Okay.
I want it. I want the brown suit. I love it.
But hear me out. All right, Wolverine pick. Hear me out here.
Tommy Wiseau?
I did not hit her.
Yeah.
Hi, Mark.
Not the Wolverine. Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
Oh,
he always wants to play everybody.
Yeah,
Apparently, he won't play the Joker, and it's like, dude, they are not going to give you a Joker movie. Could you imagine that Joker movie with him in it? Of course, you will. But here's what they got to do. They got to do the voiceover, like record it and then voice it over so it doesn't line up right. And
yeah.
I'd watch that. I'm just playing around, but they're going to have to pull some big numbers, man, to get Marvel to make that happen.
Well,
they only have several thousand signatures right now.
What if Feige's a fan of Letterkenny?
I mean, yeah.
I know it's a pipe dream that's probably never going to come to fruition, but first of all, if they cast him, they're not going to have to pay him much.
No.
He's young enough to continue to play the character for 15 to 20 years.
Yes, he is. We do need someone young.
Yes. We don't need Tom Holland young.
We need somebody in their mid to late 30s.
Yeah.
We need a good 20 years out of you.
Yeah. And I think that all just helps his case. Now, the only downside to that may be that he wouldn't be able to do as much Letterkenny stuff.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's a risk I'm willing to take.
I don't know, man. They're pretty quick. Like, he could, it wouldn't take them no time to sit down and write that and pump it back out. Like, at this point, they're just going through the motions.
Right.
When they're making Letterkenny, like,
yeah.
So he could pop that out. He could show up and film somewhere for a couple of months and that be it.
Right.
And if they film enough, even have multiple seasons.
Yeah.
They're quick with it and they're short seasons.
Yeah.
But that would be cool. In a world where you go from Letterkenny to Wolverine.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
It'd be nutty, right?
Yeah, and I remember seeing that picture. It's when I saw the photo of him in the costume where I was like, yeah, he's got the chin.
Yeah.
He's got the chin.
Yeah.
But yeah. I do have some tidbits.
Let's see what you got.
I saw this while looking at these articles, and I know you did too. I didn't know that Pepe Le Pew got canceled because I'm not on Twitter all the time. So he's already been removed from that Looney Tunes movie, Space Jam 2.
Yeah.
He's already been removed from it. They had him in the movie. People started bitching online. They were like, all right, get him out. Now the internet is going, well, if you're getting rid of him, you got to get rid of Miss Piggy.
Yeah.
She sexually harassed fucking Kermit, domestic violenced him.
Yeah.
I
know, right?
So now they're like, you got to get rid of her. And I mean, they'll have to. If you're going to get rid of one, you got to get rid of the other. This has got to stop. That's all I'm going to say.
That's what it was. So I was on Twitter one day, and apparently, I don't know if this is true or not, but allegedly, they filmed a scene where Pepe Le Pew was being all creepy.
Being Pepe Le Pew. He's a ladies' man.
And LeBron, right?
Mm-hmm.
Pulled him to the side and was like, hey, man, that's not cool. Teaches him a lesson about like how to treat women and all this stuff.
Okay. And then that's it. That should have been in the movie.
That was all of his content in the Space Jam movie, but they cut that out. And then somebody commented, I can't wait for the Snyder cut of Space Jam to come out. That's what it was, dude. Yeah.
Well, like, there's nothing wrong with that. Like, even in the movie, they pointed out, they're like, hey, man,
that's not
you're
cool.
A little too handsy.
Yeah.
You're trying to, y'all remember him, dude. He was always grabbing the cat, trying to kiss her. Like, and it was funny.
Yeah.
I mean, she looked like she might have been in a little bit of distress. I don't know. It wasn't like he was trying. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I didn't ask her.
He was like a real affectionate, like Latino guy, you know, French dude, like.
Like Puerto
Hello,
Rico.
he's like, yeah, putting his hand on your shoulder and stuff, and it's like I feel a connection with you.
Yeah, I don't know why.
Yeah, you got
But
nice eyes, but it's just weird that. I mean, dude, where does it end though? If that starts happening, it's like it's never ending. They'll always be able to find some character where they're like, well, if you're gonna get rid of those, you got to get rid of this one, and it's like, look, man, come on, let's not.
Yeah.
I just was shocked when I saw that.
Yeah.
What's gonna happen is they're gonna go through all this back catalog of animated stuff,
And now they
and
can.
they're gonna pretty much remove all of the adult innuendo that was supposed to be there for adults while they're watching it with their
Yeah.
kid.
Yeah, the kids never pick up on that, but the adults, that's a little joke for them. A little, all the movies have it. Toy Story has it.
Yeah.
You name it. Little Monsters Inc. There's little jokes in there.
Yeah.
Kind of getting away from that before we go into trailers. You remember last week, Trav, we were talking about Paramount Plus, new streaming service. I actually found out over the week that All Access CBS, that's going to be rebranded, and that's going to be combined with Paramount Plus, and that's all going to be together now.
Yeah.
So in the future,
okay.
instead of having CBS All Access, what they're doing is combining the TV shows with the movies.
Yeah.
Putting it all in one place, which will be cool.
Makes sense.
But yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's all I got on that.
I'll have to get Paramount for all the Trek stuff.
Yeah. You were already watching it for CBS, so then now you'll get all those movies, that whole back catalog of stuff. Like, they're finally figuring it out, dude. Instead of having like 3 or 4 services, like, nah, dude, just combine them, because
Yeah.
you get more people on board that way instead of trying to spread everything out.
Yep.
But yeah.
So I am ready for motherfucking trailers.
Hell yeah.
Hi, Aldo.
Get my earpiece in. There was another movie that's about pirates and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it's pirates, but they're. I didn't drop it because it was a first look, so they're like talking over it and everything. It's something else. It's something else coming to Netflix.
Yeah.
But when we get a real trailer,
Yeah.
I just didn't drop it because I was like, this is just motherfuckers talking.
Yeah. I ain't needing to hear this.
But yeah, let me drop my comment.
Jupiter's Legacy? Is that what we're starting with?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This looks pretty good.
Yeah, I'm interested to see.
I didn't know it's a comic. Apparently, I didn't know. Never heard of it.
No.
But yeah, you ready, Trev?
Yeah.
All right, 3, 2, 1, play.
Mark Miller. Didn't Mark Miller and Frank Miller do Sin City?
Mark Miller did Kick-Ass, I think.
It kind of
Didn't he
has
do
that
Daredevil?
look.
Didn't he write some Daredevil? No, I'm getting him and Frank Miller mixed up.
Yeah.
So that was kind of a first look thing where they were just pretty much showing us characters and costumes, but
Yeah.
maybe we'll get a real trailer at some point.
I'm pretty sure Mark Miller. Let me look him up real quick. Mark Miller, Kingsman, Kick-Ass. Yeah. He did all that stuff. Jupiter's Legacy, Super Crooks. Hold on. Let's go to his thing. See, Robo Hunter. He did some Judge Dredd work. A lot of Judge Dredd work actually, which makes sense. Swamp Thing, Batman, the Legends of the Dark Knight, Justice League of America.
That's where I remember him from, Legends of the Dark Knight.
Yeah, The Flash, Superman. He did a couple. He did some Fantastic Four, some Wolverine stuff. He did some Ultimate X-Men stuff, Ultimate Vision, Ultimate Fantastic Four.
He's busy.
Kick-Ass, the Secret Service.
So it seems like he started in the mainstream comics and then branched out and did his own.
Yeah, yeah, he did Kick-Ass. He did some Vampirella stuff, Youngblood. He's touched a little bit of everything there, dude.
Oh, easy now.
Well, I mean, you know what I'm saying. So, City of Lies. We got some JD on us right
It's
here.
our boy Yanni.
Yanni Yep. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yanni Yep, dude.
The joke does make sense.
I'm ready.
You ready, Trav?
Yep.
3, 2, 1, play. Rated R.
Yanni. What? Oh, shit.
What the fuck? This is the documentary for that fucking... Oh. He's working the case?
Wow.
Okay. Recognize that guy. I like this, man. We never see it from this side.
Yeah,
It's always been from their point of view. Hell yeah, dude.
That looks good,
That
man.
came out of nowhere.
Starring Johnny
Wow.
Depp, Lawrence Fishburne, and Lawrence Fishburne's eye.
Mm-hmm. Which
That
has
looks
its own
90s
IMDb.
It looked 90s as fuck, dude.
It really did.
I mean, it captured the vibe.
Oh,
I
they
didn't even
want
know
me
that was
to.
a thing.
They want me to watch Kung Pao with ads.
What?
Yeah,
They're trickling in, dude. Something's happening.
yeah. Forget everything and run.
Fear.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, right.
Well, we saw a couple of guys do that in that movie we watched tonight, and that'll get you shot in the back.
Yeah.
I'm ready when you all are.
Yeah.
All right, on 3, 2, 1, play. Zombie movie? Oh shit. They're fast though.
Yeah, Ethan. Get it together, dude.
Fucking Ethan, dude. Oh, it's the other group that's trying to survive. Damn. No, you learn to live. Got a little B movie kind of vibe here.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't think they're zombies, they're just infected. Because they still look you know what I mean? They don't look dead.
Yeah. They're not fucked up.
28 days later kind of shit.
Travis called it, dude.
You did.
Fear. Next up, we got a foreign film, war film.
Oh, another one?
Yeah. I like this comment. My small mind can't grasp what happened. That was fucked up.
All right.
And a trailer, dude.
Let's roll that footage.
Yeah, for real.
All right, hang on. 3, 2, 1, play. Same film company.
Fonte film.
I'm a sucker for these foreign war flicks.
I know.
Right.
Howdy.
All right, so they're
Jewish.
Jewish.
Yeah.
Oh, this isn't going to end well. There's a fence.
As it should be.
Wait for the cream. Can you imagine being there when this was happening? Like,
No.
Okay.
looks like where they shot Jojo Rabbit.
Yeah, right. Oh, they're rounding them up.
Yeah, dude. And they're going
Ooh.
around to the houses to check. See? See, I'm down to watch this because we got another point of view here. Like a.
Yeah.
Oh, it's going to be brutal, dude. I get the comment now.
Yeah.
Look at SS. Damn scum of the earth, dude.
Yeah.
Fucking Nazis. Go get a little side titty in the movie. It's gonna be a sad movie, dude.
Yeah.
The last movie I saw where it even kind of touched on, will be like Schindler's List or something, and that shit was rough.
It fucking was very rough, right?
But I will be willing to check that out.
Yeah. We have to put that on the list for sure. Lazarus.
Huh?
Yeah. I don't know.
What is he
What?
wearing?
It's a super suit, dude. I'm ready.
Dropping my
I'm ready.
comment. All right, 3, 2, 1, play. Is this like that guy up north that decided to be a superhero?
I think so.
A vigilante? Oh, he's strong. Follow the bullets. Okay. He's fucking them up.
Ain't he though?
Born in it. Molded by it. But for you, it's the end, and he fucks him up.
Yeah, of course. Looks all right.
Yeah.
It looks like it wanted to be very safe.
Yeah, right.
Somebody said, so a bloodshot knockoff? Cool.
I had to drop this next trailer in here.
Oh yeah, we saw like a teaser or something, or I saw one somewhere. Maybe
It's been a while.
it's been a while, dude, but it looked funny.
Yeah. You're gonna be surprised with the song choice that they go for.
I heard the beginning of it.
Did you?
I
You
did.
already know? Dude.
I'm excited.
When I heard that, I started laughing immediately. So, you know.
All right, y'all ready?
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
3, 2, 1, play. Yeah, dude.
How many times have we talked about this song?
Yeah. Batman, dude. Oh, and they're singing it. It's even funnier if they're singing it because it was in Batman. She was in the military. See her jacket?
Yeah.
Oh, Homer Simpson, you know?
She's got a Slayer shirt on.
She's the first person that... Look at her face! This is gonna be funny, dude.
Yeah.
She's so good in that Muppets movie. That's her husband. Her husband. Silly goes time, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, it's got him. Ooh, and there's other people with powers. Oh, yeah. We need a bigger car. Hmm. Hmm. Oh my God. You'd think cancer. Come on, that looks...
That's funny. It's got him in it. All right, this next trailer, I'm not expecting much from, but when I said dinosaur horror, I had to
Oh,
fucking
shit.
drop it in here. Yeah,
Giving
dude.
them the claw.
Yeah.
I'm expecting like Sci-Fi Channel CGI dinosaurs.
Yeah.
No,
If not,
I just want AC/DC over everything.
Yeah.
you've been Doctor
Right when
Strange.
she said Thunder Force, it lined up with the
Yeah.
Thunder Force, Thunder Thighs.
Yeah.
All
You already know, dude.
right, y'all ready?
I'm ready.
Mm-hmm.
3, 2, 1, play. Give them the claw.
The Adventurers Club.
Mm. I
Backwoods
think we've
Jurassic
alluded that one
Park.
before.
Yeah.
Velociraptor? Yeah.
Let me go.
This guy just so happens to have a dinosaur, you know? Found it wandered around in the woods.
Ice fishing off the coast of Isla Nublar.
Uh-oh. Clever girl. That's where you put that line. It's definitely a Velociraptor, dude.
Yeah.
Which, to be honest, that's the one you don't want to fight.
Yeah.
That motherfucker can open doors and shit.
They just recreated the vent scene from Jurassic Park.
Look, he's breathing under the thing. Look, he's going to open it. Oh, they don't show it there. Where's the feathers? He opened the door. That's going to be a silly goose time, too.
These people are out camping and a fucking raptor shows
Yeah.
up, dude.
It's like, how did that get here? Hopefully they don't explain that.
This movie just looks like someone's stoned idea.
Enhanced. I don't know.
Are they boner pills or something?
I think so. But I'm fucking ready for it.
That movie had a fucking Velociraptor in it, dude. Like, you know, that shit's gonna be fucking great.
Yeah.
I mean, you know what you're getting.
A CSI film.
All right, hang on.
You've been.
It's gonna be them standing in front of computers telling their computer people, enhance that image.
Yeah. Can you zoom in any more?
Can you enhance the file so that I can hear the
Well, it's only 12 megapixels. It's going to get pixelated.
Very pixelated.
All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1, play. It's getting kinky.
The fuck?
Are those Wakanda gauntlets?
They're going to give her some kind of power. They're like super soldiers. Universal soldiers.
So there's a Siler.
He's the one. It kind of looks like it has half the budget as one episode of Doctor
Who. Yeah.
But,
True.
You know.
I mean, you know.
This guy says it right here. This looks so generic. It's actually impressive.
Yeah, I mean, for certain.
I agree.
I want to know what's going on there a little bit though. Like, it might be a guilty. You know what I mean? I might pull it up one night and be like, "Oh, enhanced."
Yeah,
if I can find the streaming service, I'm pretty sure I'll have to turn my VPN on just to watch it. Like,
it's like
it'll be like another country.
It's like they condensed Peter and Siler's story from Heroes into an action film.
Yeah, right.
That's a show I wish they could fix.
Oh, we've been waiting on a trailer for this. We had some kind of teaser or something.
Yeah. This says final trailer. I didn't even know that.
Is this the movie that's supposed to be?
We watched something where he was sitting in that office.
Yeah.
Talking to those people.
Isn't this the movie? It's supposed to be like his big
Kinda.
performance of the year.
Yeah, they kind of break away from the.
Yeah.
Like his big drama.
Yeah. I thought
the directors though, yeah, that movie though, that Netflix movie was great, but can't be nominated for that. Downside.
Yeah.
And the director of this, right? It's someone. I just remember.
I think the Russo brothers.
I think it's the Russo brothers. Yep.
They did this too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right on.
So I'm ready for it.
All right,
man.
here we go. 3, 2, 1, play. Apple. This can't be nominated. It's getting kinky over here with this rope.
Still not a trailer.
I've seen her in something.
Yeah.
He's gonna get mad.
He's gonna join the military.
Yeah, this is the scene we saw where he was in here.
Yeah.
Oh shit. I mean, just off of that, I'm interested.
Yeah.
It's like a Bonnie and Clyde thing going on here.
Yeah, a little modern day.
Modern day
Bonnie and Clyde.
You already know.
Old Travis Tritt.
Yeah. This last trailer
That's
is
funny.
another foreign film.
The Sadness.
Yeah.
Ready when y'all are.
Oh yeah. I like this comment. Horrific. Too scary for me.
Horrific.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1, play. Creepy sound.
I like that shot.
Yeah.
Whoa. Coming in clutch for the camera work, dude.
Yeah.
I
Uh-oh.
love this. I love this eerie jazz.
Yeah. That dude's face is creepy. Yeah, I'm already in on this. This looks intense. Yeah.
That looks fucking cool.
Yes.
See, 1/22/21. That's already out somewhere.
Yeah.
Be looking for that.
This is probably the best trailer of the night.
Yeah. Well, and it's like less was more here.
Mhm.
Yes.
Like when it did that cut up shot right after you said something about the music, it cut up to that dude smiling at her.
Yeah.
And there's a dead body behind him and a group of people. It's like, what the fuck is happening? So we'll hop on that.
Yeah. We got to add it to the list.
Yeah.
What you gonna pick? Podlock it.
Yeah.
I'd
Right.
like it.
So what are we watching next? I mean, we already know what we're gonna watch the
Like,
following week.
we're
But what are we
doing
watching?
the Doors,
Oh yeah,
right?
that's right. The
Yeah,
one
on
with
the list
fucking
we got
Drake and
Doors,
Josh.
Snyder Cut, Godzilla versus Kong.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Right.
We're coming into a
Well, yeah,
landslide,
Doors.
fellas.
We saw the trailer for that, right? Was it a sci-fi movie?
Yeah. It had Drake and Josh in it.
That's right. Yeah, Josh Peck.
Yeah. Riders of the Storm.
And look good. What does it have a score? Where's the score? It's only an hour and 21 minutes.
So we're not doing March Movie Madness.
I mean, we got it.
Well,
I mean, it's coming. It's coming to us.
With Justice League and King Kong versus Godzilla over here. Like,
yeah.
We should call this year, we should call it the Bangers of March.
Yeah. Bangers in March. Kind of like Bangers and Mash. I was just trying it on.
Yeah.
Bangers in March.
That's perfect, dude.
You know?
Yeah. So the
But
Academy
anyway.
Awards is April the 25th.
Ooh.
I thought they did it in February.
I don't
They
know. What was our
I'm
Oscar picks of last year? I don't know. That's about right. Last year, our Oscar picks were 126.20 when we dropped our Oscars things in there.
Yeah.
Leading up to that. Oh, it says the file's gone.
I mean, we've approached, we pretty much have almost approached the 1 year mark of the official COVID lockdown.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're fucking year deep.
Cause I'm in too deep.
I mean, it's weird because we just had our New Year a couple months ago, but this feels feels more authentic to me.
Yeah, like a real year just started.
Yeah.
Because we just lost out on 2020, which is weird that it fell on 2020. But I tell you what's weird, man, is like, there's a little tidbit at the end of the podcast here. There's people still dying from COVID, but the news doesn't give a fuck.
It is still a thing.
But
a year out, and
they're not talking about it like they did before. Money. Alamo Draft House. We talked about that before we got on the pod. They're going down.
Yeah.
In a year, we've managed to get to where we're trying to vaccinate people.
Yep.
I know several people that have been vaccinated. Here's what they all say, though. They have to drive really far to get it.
Yeah.
The only reason my grandfather got it was because a friend of his went to the doctor, and she's been going through cancer treatments.
Yeah.
And she's too sick to get it. And she asked the doctor, she said, can I give my chance to get the vaccine to someone? So my grandmother had already had it, and she offered it to him, and he went over there and got it.
Wow.
Something to offer up your vaccine, right? Like,
yeah.
And they let him do it. They were like, yeah, he can have it.
That's our ticket into heaven, dude.
Yeah, dude. He's going like, we're looking 2021. I got you. They're doing like a daps and shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's been a weird year. It's almost like 2020 is like the year that didn't happen.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot happened, but
we pod,
It's like, I don't know, man. It just went by so fast.
Yeah.
Faster than any other year ever.
Yeah.
I mean, 2020 was pretty crazy, to say the least.
It was. It makes sense that something like that would happen because it's 2020.
Yeah.
The way it lines up. And it's something. And then now we got to deal with 2021.
Yeah.
Like with that whole year is a chunk of history that's going to be talked about for quite a while.
Tim the Tap Man said, chalk it. Chalk it up. But yeah.
Yeah. Doors next week.
Yeah.
Then Snyder Cut, and then King Kong.
Or
Godzilla versus Kong.
Yeah.
We got a good couple of weeks coming up here, fellas. Movie this past week was great. Monster Hunter was a surprise hit. So Yeah.
2021 so far so good.
Yeah, we haven't had a shit movie so far, have
No.
we? So
This is gonna be our year.
you think so?
Yeah, where like every movie is gonna be good.
Are you saying Year of the Banger?
Yeah, bangers and mash.
You think that we can hit 50,000 plays this year?
I don't know.
I don't know about
We're
that.
at like 13,000 now, which is a good number.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, but
Mhm.
we could hit up one of those like Indian play farms. Probably cost $20 for 50,000. No comment.
Yeah, I'm good.
But yeah,
That's all I got.
I'm
I gotta go
tipping
to
the
bed.
glass. I'll